Love yours. Better than yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. Love yours. Better than yours. No such thing. Heart beating fast. Let a nigga know that he alive. Fake niggas mad. Snakes in the grass. Let a nigga know that he arrived. Don't be sleeping on your level, cause it's beauty in the struggle, nigga. It's beauty in the struggle, nigga. It's beauty in the struggle, ugliness in the success. Hear my words and listen to my signal of distress. I grew up in the city and know sometimes we had less. Compared to some of my niggas down the block, man, we were blessed. That life can't be no fairy tale, no once upon a time. But I be goddamn if a nigga don't be trying. So tell me, mama, please, why you be drinking all the time? Cause all the pain he brought you still linger in your mind. Cause pain still lingers on mine. On the road to riches, listen, this is what you find. The good news is, nigga, you came a long way. The bad news is, nigga, you went the wrong way. The being broke is better, life that's better than yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. Think being broke is better, life that's better than yours. No such thing, no such thing. For what's money without happiness? Or hard times without the people you love? Though I'm not sure what's about to happen next. I ask for strength from the Lord above, cause I've been strong so far, but I can feel my grip loosening. Quick, do something before you lose it for good. Get it back and use it for good. And touch the people how you did like before. I'm tired of living with demons cause they always inviting more. Think being broke was better. Now I don't mean that phrase with no disrespect to all my niggas out there living in debt. Cash and minimal checks. Turn on the TV, see a nigga Rolex, and fantasize about a life with no stress. I mean this shit sincerely. And as a nigga who was once in your shoes, living with nothing to lose, I hope one day you hear me. Always gonna be a bigger house somewhere, but nigga feel me. Long as the people in that motherfucker love you dearly. Always gonna be a whip that's better than the one you got. Always gonna be some clothes that's fresher than the ones you rock. Always gonna be a bitch that's better out there on the tours. But you ain't never gonna be happy till you love yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. Love yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. Love yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. Love yours. Such thing as a life that's better than yours. Love yours. Such thing as a life that's better than yours. Love no such thing, no such thing. Heart beating fast, let a nigga know that he alive. Fake niggas mad, snakes in the grass, let a nigga know that he arrived.
Yo, welcome back to another live, I'm back. Yes, it was a little late, but we are back again. Consistency is key, man. I'm one of your hosts for today, man. SC Raiders Talk, SC, whatever you want to call me, Eric, whatever. Shout out to everybody that's coming on in, man. And of course, I have a special guest, man. It's a very, very special guest. Of course, you already know, all season last year, and the year before, actually, if I'm not mistaken. And we plan on doing this year too. But for now, I have him on a show, man. My brother, man, from the 2 for 1 Nation podcast, man. Raider Twan in the building. What up, Twan?
Hey, what's good, man? What's good? Hey, is victory what Tuesday? And it's always good to be on live with my brother. So it's a good day. It's a good day.
Yup. And it feels good to win week 1, man. You know, we were really the underdogs once again, and when aren't we? Understandable. We were going into Foxborough in the rain. On top of that, a lot of conditions. 10 a.m. game. We don't do too good in 10 a.m. games for quite some time. So it's a good win. We'll obviously talk about everything, break down everything from Geno Smith to the defense, and even the running backs, man. We're gonna talk about it all, but before that, let me shout out everybody. I know there were some people that was here earlier. Hopefully they come back. Shout out to Dark, man, though. I see him right there. Robert Penn in the building. What's good? Raider Paul, what's good? Good to see you. Salute, Raider Knight in the building. What's good? Good to see you. All eyes on G. Salute to you. Hope all is well. Let me see shout out to EJ. What's good, EJ? Cool Kev. What up, Cool Kev? Daniel Berry Sports Highlight in the building as well. Salute. But damn, how you feeling, Twan, in general, man? How you feeling?
You know, I'm grateful we got the dub. You know what I'm saying, but I'm also looking at there's some things that need to be improved.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we were able to get this out of the way. This was one of the games. If you've been following my channel, Raider Twan, is, I said this is a game we gotta win. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't just because it was week one. I just wanted to beat McDaniels. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want McDaniels to get out of here, you know what I'm saying, and still didn't have the last laugh by beating us, you know what I'm saying, the first time we get to see him. So it was good to see, you know what I'm saying, McDaniels lose, but also even further, in regards to the McDaniels situation, his offense fell apart. And that I think I could pull out the popcorn because we saw that movie a whole lot of games with McDaniels and the offense that we had. So it just all fell into him being the same person. I think writers and analysts need to start trying to write their little stories on how McDaniels never changed, but every time he goes up to the podium, he acts like he has this change, but he's the same dude.
Yeah, and that's fact. And speaking of Josh McDaniels, man, after the second half, the Patriots went 5 straight drives with straight punts or a turnover. That kind of shows a little bit of both sides. The defense doing its job on our side, and hey, Josh McDaniels doing Josh McDaniels thing, right? But I'm gonna give a little bit of more credit to our defense because that defense looked it looked like a whole different beast in the second half. But of course, then on top of that, obviously we're gonna talk about the offense and stuff like that. I want to kind of go a little bit by order there.
Yeah.
Of course, which hey, let's go straight into it, right?
You
Geno
you were,
Smith, man. Okay.
no, you were talking about the adjustments, and I'm glad you brought that up because that was a huge thing that we haven't had in I don't know how long. I think there was a lot of I know all season last season I was game planning, and one of the things I said in the coaching staff was make the proper adjustments, and we saw that after first half. Oh my gosh, you know what I'm saying? Booty or Booty, that's what they was calling him. Booty was having our cornerbacks look like Booty. You know what I'm saying? But after that second half, they made some adjustments. I also say this. One of the adjustments they made was they started to blitz. You know what I'm saying? And we know that comes a lot from Patrick Graham. You know what I'm saying? Patrick Graham will dial up a blitz. So they did make some changes defensively, and I'm glad that we have a coaching staff that will say, hey, we got punched in the mouth in the first half. Let's go ahead and, you know what I'm saying? Because they know they didn't play good in the first half, even though the score was still close. They know they didn't play well, so they knew they had to flip the script.
No, real stuff. And of course, that's what I always wanted to pretty much want in the team. Since even seasons after seasons after seasons, it's all what shows what's good coaching, what shows what coaching is all about is your second half adjustment. And it showed out. And on top of that, somebody else that showed out, obviously Geno Smith. Geno Smith did Geno Smith things. Of course, on the stat sheet, obviously somebody would look at it and be like 1 touchdown, 1 interception. But when you really break down everything that he has done in the game, he was passing that ball, and he was passing it at, I believe it was like 9 to 8 20+ yard throws, which is tied for the most in his career personally. So obviously that means he was getting the ball down there. And obviously there was a couple people that obviously gave him those, gave him some help in Trey Tucker, with the first touchdown there. Beautiful touchdown right there. Brock Bowers, which obviously he got injured, and I'm glad they didn't bring him back. I know he wanted to go back, but I'm glad they didn't bring him back because you never know. You never know, right? He could have easily got injured even worse. It would have been even bad, yada, yada, yada. But then obviously Dante Thornton, man, a guy that I really, since the moment we picked him up and we drafted him, I was a fan of him and stuff like that, and even a fan of him in college. And to see him do what we were all expecting him to do, even though, you know, I know a lot of people have high expectations for him, and I think that has to do with a lot with us not going out there and getting some big free agent wide receivers. Obviously the whole Amari Cooper, but let's be honest, that was never gonna be something huge. It was just probably some like PR. I mean, I don't want to get straight into it, but it was some move, man. Probably to get paid. So for me, obviously, Dante Thornton was somebody that I needed to step up this season for us to really look good on the offense side of the ball. And he's been doing it. I mean, it's barely week one, and you can see a lot of first game jitters with a lot of the team. But obviously, Geno Smith, 362 yards, a touchdown, interception, sacked 4 times. The offensive line is one of those that was a little jittery, and we'll obviously get down to that. But as far as the rushing game as well, we had 56 yards, 6 as a team. So that's not the best of numbers, but the tell of the tape was we were throwing the ball when it was raining, and he was going downfield with it. So what did you feel about Geno Smith's whole performance, and let me know how you think if he will do better during the season progresses, or he's gonna do exactly what he did in week one?
I think what we saw from Geno is what Geno actually is. I don't think there's really, I mean, there might be a game where he really, you know what I'm saying, wows us, but I think what we saw, which was really good quarterback play, is what we're going to see from Geno. You're always, and I'll say this, it's going to be a script pretty much every week with Geno. Geno's going to throw some amazing passes, and then he's going to throw at least one pass that is like, what were you thinking? You know what I'm saying? And that was that interception of Brock Bowers. But if that's a topic, we can talk about that later. But that was one of those like, what are you doing? But everything else was solid quarterback play. The reason why we didn't rush well is because one of the rules in football is you get you take what they giving you, you know what I'm saying? And they were selling out on they were selling out on the run, you know what I'm saying? They were putting everybody in the box. So because they were putting everybody in the box, and even though it was raining, the best thing that you could do schematically is pass the ball. So that's why Geno went for 362 yards and a touchdown, was because he saw that them linebackers, when you start I went back and watched the game about 3 or 4 times. Those linebackers were Spillane and Ellis. They were sucking in. So because they were sucking into the line, all he had to do was throw it over the linebackers. You know what I'm saying? And obviously that's a pass, but that's pretty much down the field. So, and we got a whole lot of weapons, and I love that there's no on tape. He has no favorite weapon. You know what I'm saying? On tape, if you're looking at it, he doesn't have a favorite weapon, because everybody that was a pass catcher caught the ball. Myers, Mayer, you know what I'm saying? Jack Best went out there, caught him one. Dante Thornton did his thing. You know what I'm saying? We know Jacoby Myers is going to do Jacoby Myers. You know what I'm saying? And it's a wonderful thing. And that was one of the things, and sorry to take so long, but that's great quarterback play. When you have a quarterback that's spreading all across the field. I remember times when Tom Brady and Drew Brees, and one of the things that many of those commentators will say is, hey, he has 7 pass catchers that caught a pass today. You know what I'm saying? Because he's giving it to everybody. And that's what confuses defenses. You know what I'm saying? If you suck down and say, oh yeah, he's just going to give it to Brock Bowers, then obviously they'll have a scheme to lock down Brock Bowers. You know what I'm saying? But if you spread it out to everybody, who can they guard? They just gotta stick to their assignment. Hopefully, they're hoping that Geno don't see the
Mhm,
open hole. So,
mhm.
great quarterback play by Geno. I like what I saw.
Yeah, and with Gino, obviously, I always want to look at both sides with a lot of the players, just to really be realistic with it. And Gino's interception, and I see right here all lies. And shout out to West Side Media. Was good, Earn. Good to see you.
What's
Salute,
good,
salute.
Ern?
Of course, the interception that he threw was a momentum swing. I think with us getting a first drive touchdown, it was really looking like the Raiders were gonna dominate, just based on that, the way they went about it. It wasn't just some ordinary drive. It was a drive that looked really good, damn good. And as well as that, you obviously, I think with a lot of NFL games, and you see it constantly throughout the league, momentum is everything. Everything. It's really rare to stop the momentum, the drive after the momentum swings. And of course, with us, you've seen it clearly. The defense couldn't handle the Patriots right after that interception. And it was starting to worry me. But obviously, it was always about how you handle it in the second half. And that's where the coaching adjustments happen. And shout out to my 2 cents. Was good. Salute, salute. Good to see you. Of course, after that second half, the defense looked damn good. And a lot of credit to Patrick Graham, a lot of credit to Pete Carroll, a lot of credit to a lot of these players that, obviously we'll talk about when we get to the defense. But um, you know, uh, but that's a throw that shouldn't have been forced. I think that was one of them that was kind of like, hey, I've been letting it fly. I did good. Let me let it fly again. And it's one of those things that maybe Brock Bowers could have got it. Maybe some may say, but at the end of the day, you got like triple coverage on that guy. I mean, you just don't throw that.
And that was my frustration with the
Mhm,
play. I was like, dude, there's 3 or 4
mhm,
defenders over here by Brock Bowers. So do the math. If there's
mhm,
3 or 4 guys in this vicinity, there's got to be somebody on the opposite side that's wide
yeah.
open. You know
Mhm,
what I'm saying?
mhm,
So you did not have to force it to Brock Bowers, and I know Brock Bowers does. Brock
mhm,
Bowers. Hey, we know who Brock Bowers is. He's the
yeah.
best tight end in the NFL. But
Mhm,
let's be smart about this situation. You ain't gotta
mhm,
force it to Brock Bowers with
mhm,
3 or 4 defenders around
mhm,
him. Somebody, and it's not like
mhm,
bums on the other side, whether it's Trey Tucker, whether it's Jacoby Myers. Like, one of those guys can handle the
mhm,
job. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
It's not like Brock Bowers is our only option.
mhm,
So I was just like, and that's
mhm,
and I just had it when I saw when that pick happened. I just
mhm,
had to come to realization
mhm,
that's Geno. Geno's gonna at
mhm.
least throw one
You
stupid
gonna
pass,
throw?
whether
Yeah.
it's an interception or just a real bad pass. He's gonna throw at least one of those, but the rest are gonna be,
Good. Yeah.
respectable quarterback play.
Shout out to Rod Gas. Was good. The numbers, salute, salute. Good to see you guys, man. Hope all is well. But for sure, I think Gino. I know his time at Seattle too was the same way. He's a guy that's willing to let it fly, and he will let it fly. And sometimes that could be a bad thing as well, because sometimes he'll let it fly to the wrong spot. um, and obviously, it's not like he does it consistently bad throws. You've seen it time and time again. I mean, y'all clearly seen it. 24 for 34, missed 10 passes, and out of those 10 passes, I think 4 of them were really bad. I think one interception. Obviously, what Cool Kev said, the 2 to Jacoby, and there was one that was a bad throw to, I forgot who it was. It was either another Brock Bowers throw, or it was down the middle. I have to remember. But shout out to SoCal Sal. What's good? What's good? What's good? But yeah, I mean, also another thing I wanted to talk about, which I don't actually have it. I don't know why I don't. Is the offensive line, man. The offensive line for me was one of those. I hope, and I'm gonna say this again. I hope it's a first day jitters. I hope it's a first game jitters. But what I seen in the preseason till now, I don't think it's a first game jitters, and it's something that needs to be addressed. Realistically, and I know some people might say, "Why are you gonna be negative during the win?" Hey, I love the win. Don't get me wrong, but the offensive line is something that's very concerning when you play better defenses. Even though the Patriots are a good defense, you're gonna play better defenses throughout the season. A lot of them. Um, and obviously, I could even, I can even name some of them right now. The Denver Broncos alone. The Chargers themselves have a good defense, which we got them on Monday night. Philadelphia got a heck of a defense. I mean, I could keep going down the line if we wanted to. And to be honest, the Patriots didn't have, I believe, their number 1 or number 2 corner.
Number 1 corner.
The number 1 corner, and a lot of their rotation was a little bit, so for me, the offensive line, hey, I'm gonna let you start off with this on the concern on the offensive line. What do you feel about it? You think they're gonna get better? You think maybe Pete Carroll saw the same thing we saw, and he'll probably switch some things around? What you thinking?
They better get it together. You know what I'm saying? I've been saying this from the beginning. I wasn't comfortable with this offensive line. Though you're telling me that we got an offensive line that played bad last year, and you bring all those guys back, and you add a guy, and he becomes a backup, and then you add another guy, and he becomes a backup. So what improvements did you really make to that offensive line? Personnel wise. So at this point, they're going to have to stay with who they have. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully they can get things together, because I'm already clearly seeing on tape how to beat this team defensively in regards to this offensive line. And I'm not going to publicly put it out there. If someone wants to hit me up on IG, you know where to find me. And I'll tell you exactly what it is. And you can go back and look at the tape and see exactly every time Geno got sacked, what happened when that happened. So there's some things in regards to this offensive line. They're going to need the time and chemistry together with their 5 to fix that situation. And we might just have to take those lumps and bruises, but I wasn't comfortable again with the personnel that's on this team in regards to that offensive line. So they just got to get it together. Look, I'm trying to hold myself for Wednesday, because I got What You Doing Wednesdays. Get ready for that 12 p.m. We'll be coming at you video. Shameless plug, 12 p.m. What You Doing Wednesdays will be out. So, but yeah, this offensive line, and there is some good things about it. Like I said, their pass pro seemed like it was okay for them, somewhat. Because obviously Geno was able to get the ball down the field. So some people are like, hey, he was able to get the ball down the field that many times, and obviously the offensive line was playing good. But no. Because again, this is not a playoff team that we played against.
Shout out to D Menace. Was good, D Menace. And there's a lot of playoff teams we're actually playing this season. I mean, I named a couple of them. Even the whole AFC West is a playoff. Multiple teams. A lot of people think the Broncos are going to go to the AFC Championship. That's how much they're praising these other people in our division. But for me, I do feel like a change needs to be made. Now, not a change with the backups, because if you really look at our backups, you really think Alex Kappa, Caleb Rogers, Charles Grant, Stone is gonna make a difference? I don't think so. No offense to them, but I just don't think so. Shout out to not Bueno was good to see you, man. Shout out to D Menace, salute to you as well. Good to see you guys, man. If you guys can, everybody hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and I greatly appreciate everybody coming on in. And we're talking about the offensive line right now. I think this won't make a hell of a difference, but I do feel like it would be a change that I think should be considered, putting Jackson Powers Johnson back at center. I think, in my opinion, I think that switch would make it at least a little bit better, because the center is pretty much your focal point, the guy that pretty much is going to communicate to the rest. So for me personally, I would put Jackson Powers back at center, but that's just my opinion. Obviously, DJ Glaze didn't have that much of a good game. Colton Miller was okay. But me personally, that's what I would do. But obviously, we're first goddamn week. Changes might be a bad thing at this point. Because if the changes needed to be made, it should have happened in the preseason, and they kept it the way they kept it because they believe in it. So I just have to sit here and believe in it, and hopefully they get better as it goes. But what you think? You think?
Yeah, we just got to keep our fingers crossed and hope that 5. You know what I'm saying? The Raider 5. They gotta get their chemistry together. They got to figure out the communications. They got to call these calls and make sure things are covered, because there's a lot of things that are leaking through the cracks, and it's not just on them personally, it's them as a group. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully they can gel within these couple of weeks. You know what I'm saying? I would say I would give it, I hate to say it, give it 4 weeks. Really see if them 5 can communicate and work together before you start moving people around. Because when you start moving people around, then you're starting all over again. So I would give it at least 4 weeks to see if that chemistry can, because like you said, and I've been saying this too, who do we have behind them? Everybody that comes in behind this offensive line is a heart attack. You know what I'm saying? So we got to roll with, we got to roll with this 5 and hope this 5 can stay healthy the whole season.
Shout out to Circus in the building. Was good. That's fucking nothing. I mean, last year we seen it when JPJ went at center. They looked better, and I could go back and try to get film and really break it down. But they looked better with JPJ on center. And maybe that was just a last year thing. Maybe it was just because the old coaching staff, whatever the case may be. We could yada. But it is I think it is something that we just gotta, like Twan said, cross our fingers with the 5. I think we need to utilize a lot of the running back and tight end situations where they're going to help block. But I do think that Geno Smith did let it fly enough times. I mean, he let it fly over 30 times. And then we go on to what I wanted to talk about on the other side. We talked about the pressure they did to us and what the defense did to our offensive line and stuff like that. But on the other side of the field, you feel me? On the other side, our pass rush. I think our pass rush looked good. Now, some may say, obviously, the Patriots themselves with their offensive line had a rookie at that tackle spot. And Max Crosby did exactly what one of my keys to the game was abuse the rookie. And Max Crosby did exactly that. But also a little bit of praise there for Tyree Wilson as well. Tyree Wilson surprised me.
What? We give praise to Tyree?
Tyree Wilson surprised me.
What?
Tyree Wilson surprised me.
I thought he needed to get cut. I thought we needed to release him. I thought he was a bomb.
He dead ass surprised me. I ain't gonna lie. So Twan, talk to me about this pass rush, man. This new look Raiders pass rush, man. Without
Eric,
Christian Wilkins.
Hey, you okay?
I'm okay. I think I'm dreaming saying that. I ain't gonna lie. I think I'm like,
need to drive down to LA and make sure you good, dog.
I think I'm a little thing. But what you feel about the pass rush,
man? Hey, you guys know I've been on the Tyree bus, so I'm glad that Tyree is doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? Hey, this D line is
no Tyree praise. Continue.
Hey, this D line is talented. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be up to this coaching staff to plug these guys where they need to be. You know what I'm saying? Fit them where they fit well. You know what I'm saying? In regards to down and distance. But I think we can get by rotating them guys, getting Tyree in there, you know what I'm saying, on pass rush, you know what I'm saying, third down, you know what I'm saying, get, 4-2 in on run downs, you know what I'm saying, like plug those guys in where you need to plug those guys in. And I think we'll get, if they, again, it all sticks to if we can keep these guys healthy. If we can keep these guys healthy, I think we'll have a healthy rotation of guys that can come in and get the job done, whether it's Booker, you know what I'm saying? It seems like Booker and Tyree are kind of swapping in and out, you know what I'm saying, in certain cases and situations, and I'm fine with that because Booker is playing well for us. We snagged him over from the Eagles, and he's been flying high.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying, for us.
Mhm.
So yeah, I do. I like this D line. I like this D line. I think we can get. I would always. I'll say this. I like the D line, but I'm always looking for talent. You know what I'm
For
saying?
talent. Mhm.
I'm always looking to upgrade. I'm always looking to,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying, make this D line even more nastier. You know what I'm saying? But at
Mhm.
the moment, I think we can get by with the guys that we have.
Shout out to Zay. What's good, Zay? What's good? What's good? Shout out to ASAP. Shout out to everybody coming on there. Raider Paul in the building. What's good? Salute, salute. But of course, the defensive line for me looked good, better than what I expected. Obviously, there was four. We got to the quarterback multiple times. On top of that, we made Drake May really try to throw the ball. We really stopped the run, which actually was one of our best run defense performance. Which there, I'm gonna give a lot of credit to this linebacking group. Um, Obviously Landon Roberts went down, stuff like that. There was concerns on what was going to happen after that, and even before that, right? But I do feel like Devin White, man, Jermaine Pratt, those two guys, even Jamal Adams, man, they got a couple tackles, but for specifically Devin White had a heck of a game, a heck of a game. And shout out to him, of course. Shout out to the corners as well. I mean, come on, Blue Kelly, man, he did his little thing. I wouldn't say he had a crazy game, but he had a good game, and I mean a game that I think a lot may have not predicted. Looked good tackling wise, looked good coverage wise. Was hyped up, and you see the momentum swing in the second half of the game for the defense. It was kind of like Pete Carroll got in their heads. Patrick Graham was like, "Hey, let's do it," and they really did it. The Patriots did not score until the fourth quarter, I believe, the last 20 seconds, and it was a field goal. So for that, it's not how you start until you finish. I always say it, and they finished strong, and the defense did a heck of a job to stop that offense. And some may say the Patriots offense is not the best, which obviously Drake may, say what you want to say about him. But obviously they got some really good pass catchers over there in Stephon Diggs, Hunter Henry, those two guys. Hunter Henry was giving us a little bit in the first half, a little bit of hell. The way he was we were looking, we were like giving up a lot of yards to him. He was looking like a top 10 tight end the way he was running the ball. But obviously they ended up scheming well in that second half. Shout out to Gravy in the building. What up, Gravy? Good to see you. Shout out to Choice Raider Coverage. Good to see everybody coming on in, man. Willie Wayne, salute, salute. But obviously this was one of our best run defense performance since I forgot what year. I know it's been a couple years since the last time we did this good on the run. So talk to me, Twan, about the
Yeah,
defense overall and everything.
yeah, I think and that's it, and it goes into the adjustments because again,
Mhm,
my mind always be running
mhm,
about these Raiders. I think going into New England, they were like, "Hey, we got to stop the run. We got to stop the run. We got to stop the run. We got to stop the
mhm,
run. We got to stop the run," and that's what they did. But then they weren't expecting a booty. Because booty, like I said, booty was giving our corners the, you know what I'm saying, we was giving up the booty, you know what I'm saying, and he would, I think he at closing out the game, I think he went for a buck, like a
mhm,
buck 3 or something like that, you know what I'm saying. So he was getting busy, you know what I'm saying, at the wide receiver, you know what I'm saying, at the wide receiver spot. So I think they were like, their mind was so thinking stop the run, that they had to change it up. Like, hey, look, it looks like they trying to pass on us. We gonna have to lock down here. Let's get a
mhm,
little blitzing going on. Let's speed up. Drake May's clock. You know what I'm saying? And they did that. And shout out to do Caillou. All right, look, hey, Caillou did his thing. You know what I'm saying? I look, I gotta give it to him. I ain't gonna give him, I ain't gonna give him the game ball or anything, but he played solid. You know what I'm saying, at corner, especially on that ghost of a pass interference because he played that perfectly well. He was fight. It was equally fighting, and then you could tell if you look at the tape, he did one of these numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like he turned around to look to find the ball, and that's where the contact came. So, like, I don't know why they threw the panties on the ground. You know what I'm saying for Caillou, but that was not PI. I'm say it again. That was not PI. So shout out to Duke Caillou. Hey, it's week 1 though. It's week 1. I might have to cuss you out next week, but this week you did all right.
And of course, another guy I want to praise, and a guy that, it feels good to believe in him since the start, and now see what type of player he became. You know, I kind of sound like a coach or whatever, but I'm not no coach, yo. I'm just here covering the team, man, any way I can. But a guy that a lot of people call me biased over, but it's Isaiah Pola-Mao, man. What a goddamn dog he is. Once again, proving why when you utilize him well, he will play well. And props to Max Crosby on that play, bro. Props to Max Crosby on that play, man. And I think Isaiah Pola-Mao came out after I think it was a presser. It was like an interview or something. He said that people like Tyree, Max, Kuntz make his job a lot easier. So, hey, you seen it right there. Max Crosby gets the pressure. Isaiah Pola-Mao gets the interception. And I always said it always starts off in the trenches, and with a great defensive line comes a great secondary. And you've seen it with the blueprint at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If you remember the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I always go back to that season where they won the Super Bowl, because you clearly seen the blueprint of there was cornerbacks on that roster that a lot of people didn't know about. That was like, oh, they're not going to be good, and then they ended up being top 10 in their categories because of their defensive line. The way their defensive line should kill Barrett, Vita Vea, and all those guys got to the quarterback a lot of the time. So for that, you've seen it here with Max Crosby. And yeah, see Pola-Mao's agent. Hey, rightfully so, man. Pola-Mao's a dog, and he proved it again. And Jeremy Chin did his thing too. I think, you kind of see the height, how much of a difference it kind of makes, in a sense. But shout out to all those guys, man. Like I said, Devin White, Isaiah Pola-Mao, Blue Kelly, even Jermaine Pratt, Eric Stokes did his thing. And I could keep going down the list. Tyree Wilson, Malcolm Kuntz. I mean, the defense did their thing, man.
I know this is a little off topic, but it just hit me that I want to give some props to. I want to give some props to Chip Kelly and this offense. When you look at, if you go back and watch the game, go look at the formations that they're running, and how they're one guy is crossing, and then the other guys, like there was a play that Brock Bowers made where the wide receiver he cut towards the middle, and he delayed his route, so he was coming up behind them, but it was like it blocked the guy that it was like pretty much it was like a pick, you know what I'm saying? Like it was like a pick play, and that's the one that Brock Bowers took off and ran the opposite sideline, because he got a whole lot of yards. Chip Kelly's drawing up a whole lot of things. Yeah. And be honest with you, there's some things that he didn't even pull out that I know that he has in his game. Like, for an example, you're talking about the run game. We didn't see any runs to the outside. Everything that was ran was in between the tackles. Chip Kelly got something that he can that he's gonna end up swinging Ashton Jeanty out the backfield, challenging a corner, and Ashton Jeanty's off to the races. So there's a lot of things that hasn't came out yet in this playbook. So I'm excited offensively on how, you know what I'm saying, what else is in this playbook, because I think there's a lot more, you know what I'm saying, and some new things that we've never seen offensively that we'll be seeing, especially in these couple of weeks, because this offense is new. We were vanilla all preseason, so we don't know anything, and the league doesn't know anything about this offense. So I'll say in the first 4 weeks, we'll see what Chip Kelly is really cooking in that offensive playbook. But I like what I see in week one.
And obviously, the Patriots did their job in preventing our run from getting out of hand. We had under 60 yards as a combined team, 24 carries. Ashton Jeanty had 90 carries for 38 yards, which don't let the stat sheet and the box score confuse you, because a lot of those runs came towards the garbage time, and I don't know why the hell we had them out there at garbage time. It should have been other running backs, in my opinion. But in all honesty, that touchdown was amazing. That touchdown showed you glimpses of him breaking tackles and being able to maneuver. He went straight through the middle, and you would think that he was already tackled, bounced out to the right, ended up diving into the touchdown. So obviously Ashton Jeanty did his thing, and it's pretty self-explanatory that once, just like Zay said, if we could get that run game going, this offense will look really good. And I think there's a lot of optimism on both sides of the ball. The defense did well, obviously, and the offense did its job, but you see the potential there. You see it, and the potential, if they could get there, they could really make some noise throughout the season, even against the top tier, top 5, top 10 teams, because we're going to play a lot of top 5 teams, top 10 teams in that category. Obviously, the Eagles, for instance, the Chiefs, some may say even the Broncos and the Chargers. But me personally, Washington, that short week that we have from the Chargers to Washington is going to be a tough little slate right there. I hope we could take care of business against the Chargers, because that Washington game is going to be very, 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 very difficult. But even Washington had the first game jitters themselves. If you watch the other NFL games and you watch Washington, you would think that if who did they play again? That I believe. Oh my God, who was it? I think it was the Giants. If the Giants would have capitalized on their opportunities, I think they would have came out with the win against Washington. And I know that's crazy to think about, but if you really looked at that game, you've seen a lot of mistakes from Washington themselves as well. So, like I said, first game jitters for everybody kind of look like, especially the Raiders. There's certain things that need to get better, and it will get better with time, and there's a lot of optimism with this Raider team. We were the underdogs for the Patriots game. I know a lot of people may say like, oh, they're not this, that, or the third, they're not that good, but at the end of the day, a lot of people counted us out against it. A lot of people counted us out. Even the people that predicted it in those little I forgot what it's called, the little preview. A lot of those analysts had us losing, and a lot of people in general had us losing. So it was a good feeling to win. It was a good feeling the way we won. It showed a lot of potential, a lot of optimism, and I mean, all honesty, man, I can only say good things about everybody, especially on the defense side of the ball and those adjustments, and the coaching staff, man. I think the coaching staff hasn't gotten too much praise, but I'm gonna praise the coaching staff. Heck of a job. And I mean, Pete Carroll showed why he's Pete Carroll, right? Getting the job done when you need to get the job done, and this is the job, man. This first game was something that we need to win, and we did. A lot of those Jeanty carries were known run calls. Got to stay unpredictable, and that's another thing too. Obviously, with time, I think they will start bringing out some crazy runs and some crazy unpredictable runs, because there was times where they would run the ball back to back, and it was pretty obvious that we're going to run it back to back. A lot of play action as well. There was some play action there that looked pretty good too, and that's where Geno Smith kind of looked better. But Dante Thornton, like I said, going back to the offense side of the ball, that Dante Thornton throw, that is kind of off topic, but that Dante Thornton throw, I think that I'm not going to complain about it, because obviously that pretty much daggered it and kind of showed what he's capable of. And it was a good, at the end of the day, it was a good throw for wherever Dante Thornton had to make the play. And that's how it should be. But I do think that when you look at that play, Dante Thornton beat his man. If Geno Smith would have threw that long, I think Dante Thornton would have been gone, in my opinion. But like I said, I ain't complaining. It was a good throw. It was a good catch.
Yeah, I think the thing that, in regards to Geno was rolling out, but Geno was also pressured when he did throw that up. So he was,
he was on the back foot. Yeah.
Yeah, so he was on his back foot. It's not like he had time to set his feet.
No,
because if he was able to set his feet, that was a clear.
Yeah.
He was. That's the
Mhm.
one thing. That's the one thing about Dante Thornton is if Dante Thornton can get down the field, he's
Yeah.
gonna beat. He's gonna
A
beat his
problem.
guy. The issue is him. You know what I'm saying in those first 5 yards is how quick can you get off of the line? You know what I'm saying if they start jamming him, then he might have some issues. But if it's a race, he's going and I just in my head I think he went. I think he had him by like 4 or 5 yards. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
he did. Yeah,
And
separation.
then so and shout out to I'll say this, shout out to Dante Thornton for going back to the ball and making a play on the ball because we've seen where the ball was thrown to him and he didn't make a play on the ball. You know what I'm saying? We saw that in preseason. So shout out to him for coaching and whoever else got in his head like, hey, when the ball's in the air, either you
Make
get
a
it
play.
or nobody's getting it. You know what I'm saying? And he went back and, you know what I'm saying, slipped and slide and made the play.
Dante Thornton did his thing, man. And his potential is really high. And I think he's got a lot to learn still. But this guy, I mean, damn, what a player, man. What a steal. At the end of the day, what a steal. Obviously, but it's the first game, first week. We're gonna see how I guess the game goes, every week. So obviously we have the Chargers on Monday night. Monday Night Football in Vegas, I believe, right? Home opener. So am I correct? Home opener for us, right? So obviously we'll talk a little bit about that. Obviously I got a preview Thursday. Obviously Twan's gonna do multiple lives that's gonna be speaking on it and stuff like that. But just give me a little bit of, I guess, the trailer of what you feel about the game, what you feel going into Monday night. Go ahead, man.
It's going to be a typical AFC game. You know what I'm saying? I think it's going to be a down to the fourth quarter, you know what I'm saying, type of game. I don't see it being a blowout type of game. We know the Chargers. The Chargers know us. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it's going to be played. Similar to how they played, you know what I'm saying, against the Chiefs. It was a close game. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like a, you know what I'm saying, blowout or a boat race like some people say. And that's just how the AFC is going to be this year. It's going to be it would surprise me if an AFC West team goes against an AFC West team and they get blown out. And that could be anybody. It could be the Chiefs against the Broncos, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you feel like might be a blowout game. I don't see it being a blowout game. I think these guys, to be honest with you, I think we're closer talent wise, you know what I'm saying, than people really want to put respect on. You know what I'm saying? Yes, there's holes. Yes, there's a lot of concerns in regards to us as Raiders, but when we line up against AFC West, it almost doesn't look like we're limping to be there. You know what I'm saying? We actually step it up. So I'm excited to see it on Monday. I don't really know what's going to end up happening, win or lose wise.
Yeah.
That it's going to be a fight either way.
I will say that when they played the Chiefs, it was a Brazil game, I believe. So traveling there, but Justin Herbert looked good. And for me, I know a lot of people are saying right here, I got to use the run game to control the game. 100%. I think the more time you take the ball away from Justin Herbert and the Chargers, the better chance you got winning. And that's not, I don't praise Justin Herbert. I always, if you go look back into my the weeks that we played the Chargers, I never was high on Justin Herbert ever. But he had a really good first week game. 318 yards, 3 touchdowns, 25 for 34, and got sacked 3 times. And at that, their run game went under 100 yards and 25 runs, and 7 of those runs came from Justin Herbert. So he did his thing. But for us, we need to contain Justin Herbert, getting it out of pocket, because he was doing that a lot against the Chiefs, and that's why he was able to make plays. And for us, we have a defensive line that is only going to get better, and I hope they could really, Pete Carroll, Patrick Graham, everybody there, Jamal Adams. Jamal Adams is somebody that I'm looking forward for this game, because I think he would be a really good, a really good quarterback contained guy. and a guy in the middle of the field. So I'm hoping that the Raiders could really utilize him and utilize, the blitz. I think the blitz will do us good. It will do us good in many. But the matchup across the whole section looks good. I mean, they have a little bit of their young wide receiver core, right? They have obviously Quentin Johnson, Lad McConkey, right? But then they have their little veterans, right? They brought back Keenan Allen, Tyler Conklin from their tight end there, obviously, and then obviously their run game with the Marion Hampton. But as far as us, we obviously have Dante Thornton, Trey Tucker, Jacoby Myers, and then that's not even including Jack Beck and Brock Bowers. So we got ourselves a little receiving core as well, and Ashton Jeanty, of course. Two rookies right there, man. Ashton Jeanty and Marion Hampton. It's gonna be interesting to see what these two running backs could do during that game. But I do think that we need to utilize Ashton Jeanty a lot, and the run game in general, and in order to really, really, really win this game. So for me, obviously, like I said, I'm gonna preview it Thursday. We're gonna talk about it Thursday, stuff like that. But for me, Jamal Adams, man, is a guy that I want to be a key player for this game. Anything else you want to say about the game?
Yeah, it's going to be really, and I think this is where the coaching is going to make their money. It's really going to be up to what their defense decides that they want to do against us. Are they going to sell out to the run? You know what I'm saying? If they sell out to the run, then hey, get ready for Geno to throw it over your head. You know what I'm saying? Or if they say, hey, we're gonna play, we don't want Brock Bowers to go off on us tonight. You know what I'm saying? Then we'll make our proper adjustments. So I think if they go into it Monday and say, what you want to do, Chief? What you want to do, Chargers? You know what I'm saying? And whatever you decide that you're gonna do, we got something for it. You know what I'm saying? And I think we can confidently say that. I think if they sell out to the pass, I think our running game will, you know what I'm saying, Ashton Jeanty will be what everybody expects Ashton Jeanty to do. But if they put 8 or 9 in that box, look, try it, you know what I'm saying, just to keep it a little honest, but hey, throw it over their head, because we got a quarterback and we got wide receivers and tight ends. Not just one tight end, tight ends, because Michael Mayer, look, that catch he caught on 4th down. Hey, look, if he was a step over, he would have had a whole lot of green grass, and that's what Geno was trying to do. People thought that was an inaccurate pass. That was not an inaccurate pass. Geno was actually trying to lead him to green grass, but because where Michael Mayer was, he was like, the best thing I can do on 4th and 1 is make this grab, and that's what he did.
And it's gonna be an interesting game, man. Monday Night Football, of course. There's a doubleheader that day too. I think there's a game right before us, and we're 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is 10 p.m. Eastern. A late game at that, but overall, the Raiders, Patriots, good win. Victory Tuesday, but you could say victory Monday yesterday. It's on to the next. And that's the Chargers. Great win by the Raiders. A lot of potential with this team, a lot of optimism for sure. And it's exciting to get back on the win column, and it's exciting to see this team out there. The way they came out in the second half really showed their energy and what that locker room could truly do to each other, and they're hyping each other up. That's how a team should be. So overall, Raiders win 20-13. And the defense shined in that second half. Adjustments. Geno Smith. That's pretty much everything. Anything else you want to say about the Patriots game? Anything else to close it off?
F. McDaniels.
That's a fact. It felt good beating him. And there's nothing else for me to say. I was trying to think of something, but there's really nothing else to say. I think we said it all. It felt good. It felt good.
It feels good to, say, get this week 1, out the way and with the dub.
Yep.
Definitely.
So, Twan, let them know where they could find you. Let them know when's your next show. what you got lined up, man. Let them know, man. Speak to them.
Hey, look, I'm just gonna keep. I'm gonna keep it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it. Whatever you want to call it. You know. Hey, look, I'm 20 away. Okay, and I know there's 20 people that are not subscribed to my channel. So go ahead and subscribe. It's completely free. I ain't asking you to, you know what I'm saying? I ain't asking you for a band or anything like that. Just go ahead and push that subscribe button. Okay, 20 away. There's 20 people that show up to my live that haven't subscribed, and I be answering their questions and comments. Go ahead and just hit that subscribe button. Raider Twan on YouTube. 20 away. Be that 20.
Yeah. And for me, obviously, I'll be back Thursday, same time. Well, actually, different time because I was late today, but I promise y'all, I'll be good Thursday. 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 6 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to preview the Raiders and Chargers Monday Night Football. We will talk about all things Monday Night Football, man. And I'm going to really break this down and really break it down to the core. So shout out to everybody that came on in here today, man. Shout out to y'all. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. And like I said, the SC Raiders Talk is back, and we're back in consistency, and we're back better than ever. It was good to see everybody, of course, and hope all is well. Remember, tough times never last, but tough people do. And you guys also tell people, man, remember, life is too short, so always tell your loved ones you love them, man. Real stuff. And on top of that, I'm just let, a Hall of Famer take it away real quick.
As Charles Woodson would say, Raiders. Yeah. As Charles Woodson would say, Raiders.
Play it twice real quick. Had to play it twice real quick. But on that note, y'all, I'll see y'all Thursday, man. And of course, for Twan, tomorrow, what you doing Wednesdays, man? Go tune in.
Yeah, what you doing Wednesdays, 12 p.m. Get ready for it, because I got one for you.
All right, we will catch you, man. Peace out.
Always gonna be a whip that's better than the one you got. Always gonna be some clothes that's fresher than the ones you rock. Always gonna be a bitch that's better out there on the tour. But you ain't never gonna be happy till you love yours. Such thing as a life that's better than yours. Love yours. Such thing as a life that's better than yours. Love yours. Such thing as a life that's better than yours. Love yours. Such thing as a life that's better than yours. Love yours. Such thing as a life that's better than yours. Love yours. Such thing as a life that's better than yours. Love yours. Such thing. Heart beating fast, let a nigga know that he alive. Fake niggas mad, snakes in the grass, let a nigga know that he arrived. Love yours.